Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Flanagan, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Actua. And today I'm so pleased to be talking to Sheila Morin, who is the Chief Marketing Officer at Coveo. Coveo is a leader in AI-powered personalization, recommendations, and search for digital experiences. And we are so happy to have you here today. Sheila, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Before we dig into the conversation, which I'm really excited about, I wanted to start things off by sharing the very exciting news that Coveo is now an official supporter of Actua's. We are so grateful and looking so forward to building on Coveo and Actua's joint commitment to making STEM education more accessible and to continuing to have the kind of deep impact across the country from a social and economic perspective. And we know that technology is so critical to both of those things. So on behalf of the Actua Network, we are so thankful to Coveo for coming on board as one of our partners. So
we're very excited and proud to be working with you guys at Actua for sure.
Thank you. So tell us, just let's start, because I think your role as Chief Marketing Officer is so interesting for a tech company. Tell us about yourself and what your journey was to get to this kind of career path, and what do you do now as Chief Marketing Officer at Coveo?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Well, I've been in marketing for more than 20 years, always in marketing, a bit of sales, but always in that space. I started in what we call the consumer packaged good industry, so at Procter & Gamble, so selling shampoo and Tide laundry detergent, and doing advertising for them as well. And then I moved to L'Oreal, so the beauty company. I worked there for their Garnier brand for almost 12 years in shampoo and hair color and makeup and skincare. And then I moved to the yogurt industry at Danone, where I worked for 3 years, working on Activia and Oikos and the good yogurt that you can know. And then I did a shift in my career and moved to the entertainment industry, where I moved to Cirque du Soleil to be their VP of strategy and brands, and then CMO at the last year, just before COVID hit. And then we had to close our 44 shows that were live at the moment. And then, of course, it was a really difficult year after, so I had to rethink about my career. And Coveo came on my road, I guess. And I'm like, well, I'm not a tech person. I love marketing. I love learning new industry, but I don't know anything about tech. And the CEO, Louis Tetsu, decided to take a chance on me, I guess, and to hire me. He said, we have a lot of tech people at Coveo. Maybe we need new ways of looking at things. So I jumped in it 2 years ago. It's been 2 years now almost. I started same role as at Cirque du Soleil. So I started like VP of brand and strategy, and I was nominated CMO this summer, actually. So
that's
it's been an interesting path.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I agree. And it sort of leads to my second question, which is that, we know that at Actua that, scientific and technical advancements are dramatically changing the way that we work. They're, almost making every company into a tech company, if you will. And of course, those technological changes have changed the way that marketing happens. So what has changed the most about your role as a marketer over the course of your career, and what skills, because we know that the skills that are going to be needed are both technical and those kind of human skills. What skills have kind of helped you the most in making those transitions successfully?
That's a very good question, because I don't know a lot of other type of job, but I know that marketing has changed a lot in the last 20 years. What I was doing 20 years ago is completely different and almost irrelevant today, which it's a big shift. Like when I started, we were doing to launch a new product, we would do advertising, TV advertising at the time, 30-second spot advertising. And the goal was to reach as many people as possible with the same message. So we would spend millions of dollars building a 30-second advertising, one or two spots, and then pushing it to the world. This doesn't exist anymore. And it doesn't even make sense anymore, because right now, instead of trying to talk to as many people as you can, good marketers are able to talk to as less people as you can, but more targeted. So your role is to create sub-cluster and even one-on-one personalization to adapt your message to that person. We have a lot of data now. We have technology that gives us a chance to adapt completely what we do to smaller groups, so that one size fits all. It still exists,
right?
But it's not what we want to do as marketers. So huge shift on both B2B and B2C of how you approach marketing, and how marketing is not just about being creative and putting beautiful ads full of colors and nice visual out. Like, that's a part of it, but you need to be data savvy, and you need to love analyzing your data to be a good marketer now. So I think you ask about what skills you need to move or to go through those changes. I think I needed to be curious about all this new technology, about and being agile in adapting, in jumping in those changes and embracing all those changes, and not being stuck in the past, because you can't be stuck into what works and then have a hard time moving. But like with social media advertising, with Google's paid search and all of it, you needed to jump on it, because then you would miss the boat. So curiosity and agility was probably the two things that you need right now, because things will continue to change. Things change every day. So you need to constantly read, look at what others are doing, look at the trends, so that you can adapt and change the way you do things, because there's no such thing as status quo in marketing. You need to adapt.
Or really, I mean, in any career now. And I think
so, yeah.
That's why we at Actua think that, STEM education and a STEM environment is such a great way to develop not only those technology skills, which are critical, but also those things like you mentioned, curiosity and agility and flexibility. And, that curiosity piece, I think, has taken such a hit during the pandemic for youth. And we know that this has been really challenging, because online learning for many youth was not as successful as face-to-face learning. And so
for sure,
that role of those skills is just going to be so critical. So it's interesting to hear, even from a marketing perspective.
100%.
Just shifting a little bit, as a female leader in this space, I'm sure you have some insights into what it is like as a female lead in a technology sector, where we know that technology is still very heavily dominated by men. We know that needs to change. We know that many wonderful companies like Coveo are taking active steps, like supporting Actua, to make sure that we have that next generation of female leaders. Can you talk about what it has been like as a woman in a male dominated industry, and what has contributed the most to your sense of belonging there?
That's a very good question, because when I looked at who am I and in the world I live in, I feel that there's a lot of differences and sometimes there's a lot of reason why I could feel a lack of belonging, because I'm a woman in the men's world. You're totally right. I'm a non-tech person. You heard about my path and my career path. I'm clearly a non-tech person who now work in tech. I'm a francophone in an English world, and I think it's another difference, but I'm a C-level woman with two young kids that are asking for a lot of my time. So I'm a really engaged mom in a C-level. So there's a lot of dichotomy, or I would say differences, but I try to remember when I feel the imposter syndrome, or where I feel that I try to remember why I'm there. And I think the reason why my CEO, Louis Tétu, took a chance on me and I think it was a risk to hire me, it's because he truly believed in bringing differences or different opinion around the table, different lens around the table will make Coveo stronger. So I try to remember that, so that, no, I don't need to be like everybody else. I don't need to completely fit in, because the reason why I'm there and what's made me powerful is my differences, is
Yes.
that's why I'm there. So I'm trying to actually remember that and actually embrace my differences and actually not try to fit in and not try to adapt myself too much, because I need to be different. That's why he hired me, to be different and to bring the different opinion at the table. So I really try to play that role. And I'll just to remind myself also, when I'm in a meeting, for example, with a lot of men around the table or with a lot of tech people around the table, and I could be scared of asking a stupid question, I'm like, no, ask this question. Because, that's why they hired you, because you don't know tech, and maybe you'll bring a question that the customer will ask, or that the consumer will ask, or whatever, like another person that is not in the tech industry will actually ask. So let's play that role of the person who don't know anything about tech. So I really try to play that role, and I try to also play the role of bringing more different people as well at Coveo and in the technology industry and in the STEM industry. And that's why we think that working with you guys is important, because we need to increase the number of women at the source, because it's difficult for us to recruit more women. Is there no women applying to the job? Like, there's not enough women applying. So we need to go and create this inspiration for women to join the STEM, so that actually in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, there's more women coming to this role and applying to Coveo and other tech industry.
And you raised two such critical points. One is that, of course, we need to start with that messaging early and inspire girls. I think what's so important is what you talked about with your CEO, where, we need people to not think that it's a risk to employ female or other diverse people, but like the smartest possible bet that they could make. I'm pretty sure your CEO actually knew that. Because that's effective in the different, absolutely is essential, and the data exists to back that up. We know that companies, especially tech companies that have more females in the C-suite or at senior levels of leadership, do better. They do better on their bottom line. They do better, just generally responding to the needs of their customers. So that's the message that we want to give at Actua to girls: is not only is your voice, like, do you belong here, but your voice is critical to drive value and change. And, it's going to impact not only your life, but the lives of, many people.
Exactly.
And one of the things, one of the other reasons we're excited about Coveo is because of your commitment as a company to democratizing education. And, that's really at the end of the day what Actua is about. Of course, we're developing skills in science and technology, but that can't happen if all youth don't have access to education, if there's not equitable access. And that equity does not exist in Canada right now. I think a lot of people think it does. It does not. And the pandemic has showed us that. What does that mean at Coveo? What does it mean to you? Why is it important to you as a company to level the playing field for everyone?
Yeah, well, when we decided to, now it's a year ago, I think, to really invest in giving back to our communities, giving back to people around us, we had to choose what was our mission. Like, what are we going to give money to? Like, who are we going to give money to? What do we believe in? And quickly, and it's actually Louis and I at the time as well, and we truly believe in this. Our CEO he was saying we need to invest in making sure every kids, most importantly, have access to knowledge and education, because it's the only way you can stop the vicious circle of poverty, or the vicious circle of people not feeling the belonging to this society, or to even dreaming about being part of going to university or having access to a job like we do. Everybody can have access to that, and we want to make sure we participate into giving access to them, inspiring kids of trusting themselves and having the confidence to go into a STEM education, for example. So we thought it was really important, and that we could make a difference into investing into this. And then we had to find the right partners to do that. And we looked at the best partners in Canada that are already doing that, because we don't want to start from scratch. We don't know how to do that at Coveo. So we wanted to partner with the people who already do that. And that's where Actua came. Actually, one of the first partners we looked into was Actua, because we truly believe that what you guys do is exactly what we wanted when we started this, is that inspiring kids, giving them the means and money, and giving them computers, giving them just mentorship, coaching, so that they can have all the same equal chances that other kids have. So it's really truly a dream that we had a year ago, and now we kind of see it coming, and we're really excited.
Oh, that's great. And we're, certainly deeply appreciative and are making that impact every day at the ground level. Thank you so much for the conversation and for sharing your insights. There's just such an important message to get out there, that technology doesn't happen behind a big dark curtain, right? It's people, and it's diverse people that are needed to advance.
Yes.
Thank you.
Totally.
Thank you for the work and the investment, and I look forward to what we're going to do together.
Yes, me too. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for everything you're doing.